they talk when calling you so that you don't suspect. Okay, so here we have what can help you to protect you from phishing attacks. So the main thing is to avoid clicking on links that you are not familiar with, or you should be able to verify the links before clicking on them. Then we have checking the addresses. You can, okay, nowadays these attackers, they use some alphabets that you won't know how to distinguish them. Maybe they can use different types of ways. So you know that this is a legitimate link because it starts with this and this and this, but you have not verified if the letters are the right letter that you should be using. So you should always check on the email addresses and maybe the URL, the URLs for spelling mistakes, because these ones are one of the major instances of phishing attacks that are prevalent nowadays. Then as well, you are encouraged to enable multi-factor authentication. Then you look at the style of the message, and then you should ask questions to ensure that the message is authentic or the link is authentic. Yeah, so as well, I believe that Esther had told you that you should enhance that you should ensure that you have a proper password hygiene, that is having a strong password. A strong password has a combination of letters, that is lowercase and uppercase, symbols, numbers, and special characters. Then it should be long enough, as in it should be 14 to 16 characters long, so that it cannot be crackable by the attacker. If you use numbers, it will take maybe some few minutes to crack it, because there's an existence of the password cracker that the attackers can use to crack the password. So from my screen, you can see that we have the number of the amount of time that will take to crack maybe a 7-character password is 1 minute. 8 characters, it is 1 hour. That is bare characters without the combination of the letters, the lowercase letters, the uppercase letters, numbers, symbols, and special characters. Yeah. So I believe that she taught you how to create a long password as well. The passwords, they need to be long. Use a phrase. You should not use the maybe the things that can be traced back to you, your PII, or any name of your family members, your pets, and such things. Then you should not use passwords, because using passwords across multiple websites can be we have an attack called password spraying. Once I have cracked your password, I can just use the password across all the websites that I know that you have access to, and I'll gain access to your accounts. Yeah, so then as well, you should ensure that you have multi-factor authentication enabled across all the websites that you visit. So I'm going to show us how we can enable multi-factor authentication on our email addresses, so that at least after this class we have a plus security measure that we have added to our email addresses. Yes, so another one that most people get caught at is using the public Wi-Fi. So these Wi-Fis can be hacked by these attackers. We have several measures of hacking Wi-Fi accounts to get credentials to the Wi-Fi, maybe authenticating the legitimate users, and maybe requiring them to enter the passwords again. Then you can obtain the password and maybe log into the Wi-Fi accounts and maybe access several things that people are doing on the internet. So we should avoid using, okay, most instances you hear that someone had connected to a public Wi-Fi when accessing their bank. So for this, maybe there's an attacker who was listening in the network. Maybe he can create an evil twin. An evil twin is a clone of the actual Wi-Fi account, so that you can log into the evil twin that this person had created, and you can be able to obtain your bank credentials or any sensitive credentials that you use in your accounts. Yeah, so we also have ransomwares. Yesterday I had us discussing about ransomwares, and a question was posed on us if we can, maybe if one day in the morning you come back to the office and you open your laptop. Hi Maureen, kindly mute. So maybe one day you wake up in the morning, go to the office as usual, then you find out that you open your machine and a screen greets you that your personal files are encrypted. You should make a payment to this and this account before this amount of time before your data is exposed to the public. So recently we had NIVAS, KA, and some other institutions. Yesterday I saw that Volkswagen was hacked as well. So yeah, and these guys demand for huge ransoms. Then if you don't pay the ransoms, maybe they'll expose your data to the dark web. We have something called the dark web where this data is being sold to, and these malicious people can use the data to maybe leverage attack on your company system and maybe obtain some other information from your company system, maybe expose some sensitive data to the public. Yeah. So if you want to avoid ransomware, you should not download files from random websites. You should be aware of these phishing scams. You should not use your company email or password for your personal stuff. Then you should not store password in text files or spreadsheets. So for the passwords, we have several password managers. For these password managers, you can use a password generator to generate your strong passwords. After generating the strong passwords, you can use the password managers to store your password in. Then for the password managers, you should only master the password to open your password manager so that you can access the password to your accounts. Okay, for USBs, for USBs, you should avoid using USBs that you find anywhere. If you find a USB on a table, you should not just be quick at taking it and inserting it in your machine without verifying where it has come from. You should verify where it has come from, because maybe an attacker had keyed in some malware in the USB drive. Then as an individual, you just pick the USB and you insert it in your machine. Then you open your machine, then these malwares have some scripts written in them. So maybe you can enter the USB on your machine. You can insert the USB on your machine, then you try and play around with some things. Then you are greeted with a blue screen telling you that your computer has been affected and all the data has been encrypted by that malware. So you need to find this person to decrypt all those information and such stuff. So you should encrypt data that is on the USB device in case you lose it or it gets stolen. Then to ensure that you are safe, you should always have data backups in case anything happens, so that as you try following up with the incidences that have happened, you can have somewhere to reference back to. So that is always termed as maybe some aspects of incident response or risk management to ensure that the normal processes of the normal business processes are continuing in as much as you've been attacked by maybe a ransomware or a malware in your company. Yeah. So yeah, she taught you about wire fraud and some other things that she covered in the class yesterday. So maybe to start us off, is there anyone who has a question from all these?
Hello.
Hello, yes.
This is Peterson.
Yes, please.
Most of us know about how to zip and unzip or files or data. But I've seen maybe your last point was that there's need to encrypt the data on the USB device in case you lose it or it gets stolen. Now, maybe do you have a demonstration on how we can encrypt or do that stuff or encrypt?
Okay, for data
Or it
encryption.
is in the YouTube or somewhere, I don't know. Because
Okay.
most of us knows about the C.
So for data encryption, we have some tools for data encryption. Maybe I can just try and find the link and to YouTube maybe, or a link to some of the tools that you can use for data encryption, and share it with us so that you can do it as a practice at our own convenience, because we can try creating some files, then we encrypt them. For encryption, we have several types of things. It's a huge concept on its own. It's a broad concept on its own that you can't cover in the class today. So for encryption, we have keys that you use to encrypt these information. So for you to be able to decrypt data, you need to have the other key. Maybe we have a public key and a private key. So a public key is a key that is possessed by everyone, but a private key is private to you alone. So yeah, for encryption, maybe I can just try and find a video and share it with us so that we can go through it at our own convenience, so that we can at least save on time. Is that okay, Peterson?
It's okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Okay, my name is Laila. I would like to ask, there's a question that one of our colleagues asked 2 days ago about the cloud. So take us through how safe is our data when we store them in the cloud.
So for the cloud, it all depends on the measures that the cloud service providers have, the stringent measures that the cloud service providers have implemented on their infrastructure for the data to be protected by them on the cloud. So cloud security is a whole different concept again. So maybe, yeah, we can be sure that we can trust our cloud service providers with our data, but you know, it's the internet, and there's a lot of things that happen on the internet, and nothing is always as secure as 100% on the internet, but we can just give them the benefit of doubt that they can be able to protect our data from being accessed by the other people in the public. Yeah, but for cloud, there are different ways of hacking into the cloud accounts, but these guys, the cloud service providers, have always ensured that our data is as secure as possible so that they cannot be accessed by the attackers. Yeah.
So when you talk of the service providers of the cloud, so which brand do you find it's more convenient and more safe? Is it the Huawei? Which one is always recommended?
Maybe I won't be biased on that. It all depends on an organization's preferences. So for that, maybe I can just leave it as open as that. It all depends on the organization's preferences on the cloud service provider that they can trust. They can lay their trust in with their data.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. Yes. So maybe the first thing that
can I add something on what Sister Sherotich was asking?
Yes, please.
Yes, nowadays mostly people keep, like even us, we do the cloud one, but now cloud storage mostly saves your data across redundant servers. And so even if one of the data center collapses, your data will be managed by the other data center. That's very important, yeah. And it is also asking about how safe, and which mostly your data may be managed, and which makes can also make your data safe and also can be supervised easily. But if all the data center of the storage maybe provide collapse, or maybe are destroyed, only then can data be lost. So it's very important now when we talk about cloud computing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that addition. Yeah, so maybe first thing we can just go to our next, our first task, our first practical task. Yeah, so kindly confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes, you can see it.
Okay, so
yes, it's visible.
Yeah, so for email, if you want to set up a multi-factor authentication on our email addresses,
It's visible.
Okay, thank you. So for our email addresses, if you want to set up a multi-factor authentication on our email addresses plus other security measures, you just open your email account, then you open the settings. This icon over here, it's the settings icon. After opening the settings icon, you come and click on all settings. It will open a new tab. Yeah, so we have a new tab that has been opened over here. So for this tab, it has a variety of options. But the option that we are quite interested in is so for general, it has all the general settings that you can play around with on the email address. We have the labels, you can create labels to our email addresses. We have the settings to the inbox. So we have the main thing that you're interested in right now is maybe how to change your password, how to set the password recovery options and other settings that you can implement for our Google accounts. Yeah, so for the first setting, we have a setting on how to change a password. So if you want to change your password, just click on that, on this icon, settings icon. Then it will open this page. You come to accounts and import. Then you click on change password. If you want to change your password, you can just click on change password. Then if you want to change your password recovery options, so this is the area that I'm quite interested in today. So if you click on that link, it will give you another link. It will take you to another page. Hi, Mary, kindly mute. Yeah, thank you. So it will take you to another page. So for this page, it has a lot of things over here. It opens the security page. So settings and recommendations to help you keep your account secure. So you all know that our email accounts are hackable. If someone knows our email addresses and they know maybe our passwords, because we tend to use our passwords, or maybe use our usernames, or maybe date of birth and ID number, the phone number as our email account passwords. So maybe I know your email address and you have not set the multi-factor authentication option. So I'll just open up your email address, then I key in everything, then I get access to your email account. I can perform anything, either malicious or not malicious, with your email account. So for that not to happen, we have this feature over here provided by Google. So firstly, you just click on that settings icon, then click on the settings icon, then you come and change password recovery options. Then it opens the security tab. Yeah, so you can set a recovery email if you want to recover your email address in case someone hacked your account. You can set a recovery email that will help you to recover your email account in case you lost it. So for you to set a recovery email account, you just click on that. Then you go to, it will bring you up, it will prompt you to maybe to enter the account that you want to set up as your email account recovery option. So mine already has a recovery account that I had set. So after setting up the recovery account, you need to verify it by maybe Google will send you a code to the email address that you had set as the email recovery option. Then you key in the code that Google had sent you to. It will give you a screen that you'll be prompted to enter the code that Google has sent you. Then you enter the code, and your email, the recovery email account will be verified by Google. Then over here, it states the accounts that were given access to maybe your email address, maybe the apps that were given access to your email address. Then for you to, okay, for the multi-factor authentication that I was talking about, it's over here, how to sign into Google. So you come and click here, two-step verification. So for this, someone cannot be able to get hold of your account like without your, okay, someone cannot easily get hold of your account without your authentication. So in case it's you, for you to set up the multi-factor authentication first, you need to know your email password. So I'll just key in my email password. Then after you key in your email password, if it's correct, it will redirect you to another page. Yeah, here it is. So for the two-step verification, you have a whole variety of options. You can add your phone number. Then after adding your phone number as a form of the two-factor authentication, you need to come here and turn on the two-step verification. After you turn it on, you can, yeah. it will relay another screen. It will bring another prompt in front of your screen. Maybe you can verify it using a Google prompt. Maybe if you open maybe if you want to log into your email address using another device, a guest device, Google will tell you to click, maybe it will send you a message to click, maybe yes, it's me, or it will tell you to click on maybe a number 80 or 90. It depends on what Google tells you to do. So for me, I have two options over here. I can either verify it using my phone number or a Google prompt. Yeah, so maybe we also have authenticator apps that you can use to verify for the two-factor authentication. Then we have passkeys and security keys. We have backup codes. Yeah, so those are some of the examples of whatever you can use for the two-factor authentication. But mostly we have the authenticator apps. We have the Google prompts and the phone numbers that we always use for the two-factor authentication or the two-factor verification measures. So then it's always advisable that you should change your passwords after every 3 months to maintain a good password hygiene, because I think for most organizations, they have these measures that they have implemented as part of their policies for the employees to change their passwords after every 90 days, that is after every 3 months. Yeah, so then over here we have the number of devices that Google is able to send the prompts on. We have our recovery phone numbers and the recovery emails. So in case you've lost your phone, you can find the lost device over here, then and other sessions. Then you have the devices where you are signed into. So for these, you can try and do a recon on the devices that you have signed into. If you notice a malicious device that you have signed into without your consent, you can just log out of the device. Over here, you can just click on the device. Then it will give you an option on whether to sign out or whether to maintain the connection. Yeah, so we have all these measures over here. Then we have the parties that have been given access to our email address, the third-party applications and the services that we have given access to our email address. And also we have password managers. So okay, for me, I use the Capabuil password manager to manage my passwords. Then for those of us who like saving our passwords on maybe our Chrome accounts or our Google on our browsers, that's not a good measure to practice. So maybe I can just show you how someone can be able to retrieve your passwords. So I can just go to these 3 dots over here. Then I go to passwords and autofill. Then I go to Google Password Manager, because this one doesn't have a passkey for you to get into the actual password that I've installed.
You're not an introvert, Nyambiwa.
Okay, so yeah, this gives us the menu on where you can find our passwords if at all we save our passwords from our browsers, or yeah, this is where they are being relayed back at. So we can someone may decide to export it as a CSV file and use it for their own liking. Yeah, for this account, I don't have example of password that I can show you guys, but you can do this on your laptops, because I believe that most of us have password that we have stored from our browser, so we can try and verify if this is correct. So after this class, I believe that we'll all delete all those passwords and start practicing a new password hygiene. So you should never save your passwords on your browsers, because maybe I can get access of your machine and I want to gain access to all your accounts. Then I'll just open this and go to the password manager. Then I'll find a list of passwords that are associated with the account. Yeah, so any question with that, I'll return to that before we go to the next thing.
Hey,
hello.
just password.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, today the volume is so low. I'm really straining to hear you, even with all the gadgets I've tried to open. Kindly, thank you.
Anyone else experiencing the challenge?
Yeah, you are so low. All our volume is at 100, but we barely hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, kindly be a bit loud.
So anyone with a question in the meantime?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes. Yes, please.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yes. So I wanted to know, for those of us who don't use Kaspersky, what other password manager can we use? Like for if you're using Apple.
If you're using Apple,
Yeah.
maybe we can do a research on that. You can just try. We can Google that. Then I think Google bears all those information. You can just try doing a Google search on that. Yeah, so we have a list of password managers that it has listed for us here over here for iPhone and iPad. So it's all about getting to know the, okay, we know most of these applications, most guys have used them. So it's all about going through the reviews from the users to see if maybe it's a good password manager or it's not a good password manager. And yesterday we were taught that before installing any application, you should verify whether the application is, it has it has not been tampered with by maybe an attacker or anyone or any perpetrator that may be interested in maybe getting hold of our passwords. So we have maybe one as Dashlane, we have NodePass, we have Avira, we have LastPass, Total Password, Sticky Password, and much more password managers that we have in store for us. So maybe you can just try and Google and try using a password manager that you can try using a password manager of your own preference to help you to store your password securely. Yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah, I was having a question.
Yes, please.
Okay, I've always been hearing this issue of private key and public key in relation to emails. What is that exactly?
In relation to emails. So for the aspect of public keys and private keys, this is an aspect of cryptography. So for the public keys, these are keys that are accessible to anyone. They are accessible to the general public. And for the private keys, these are keys that we should, okay, these are keys that only you should have access to it and no one should have access to it. These keys are always used for encryption and decryption of data. So yeah, it's normally used in the cryptographic aspects of computing or of cybersecurity.
So it's technical jargon that we need not be too concerned about.
It's not a technical jargon per se.
Huh.
It's something that you can learn. Yeah, if you commit to it, you can learn about it. Then you can try implementing it on maybe encrypting your data. If you don't want anyone to have access to your data, you can just encrypt it using the different cryptographic applications that we have in store that will be able to help you to encrypt and decrypt your data.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyone else having a question?
Yes, I do.
Yes, please.
Now, Firefox, Mozilla Firefox, the integrated password, that's master password, for enabling you to save passwords within the browser. Is that secure? Because, well, I understand one can easily retrieve the passwords from the browser, but if it has a password for you to access it, can it be an option?
yeah, maybe it can be an option, but if anyone has, okay, we have some tools that can be used to attack our browsers. So if an attacker has one of the tools that he can use to maybe get hold of maybe your browser information, he or she can be able to retrieve all these passwords. So the best thing is to maybe find another application that can help you to store a secure application that can help you to store your passwords. But if they introduce the aspect of having a master password for you to access the password that you have stored on your browser, I believe that's a good measure. But as an add-on, you can try finding some other backup options for you to store your passwords in.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome. So first thing, maybe I can just take us through some of the steps that maybe as a perpetrator, I can use some of the steps to obtain your information online. I believe that most of us, we tend to store much of our information online that we don't know if maybe a perpetrator or an attacker can get hold of. Yeah, so allow me to share something on my browser again. So I'm just going to do a demo of something over here. So most of us, I believe that we have interacted with Google. So for Google, if I have maybe you can try and do this practice with someone. So anyone who's willing maybe can share their photo with us, or maybe you can try. Okay, it's not necessarily that you should have your photo, but maybe you can try using your name and try finding some information about you online. And in turn, we can get a picture of you, then you can use your picture to try and find some other information about you. So, hi, Mr. Ken. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, so maybe with your consent, maybe you can give us the go ahead to use your name, your full name.
That's
Maybe
okay.
you can type for us your full names on the chat so that we can use you as an example in our class today.
I've typed the name.
Okay. Can we rig? Okay, so maybe I can just, okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I can just type. If you have digital footprints, I can just find you online. Ricky. Yeah. So here it is. So, Mr. Ken, is this you?
No, that's not me.
Okay, so we can try and the first
Yeah,
one.
that's yes.
So we can just go to your LinkedIn account. You can see that you don't have any photo on your LinkedIn profile. So maybe you can try using someone who has a photo online.
I do, but I've disabled it.
So you disabled it. So that you can't find any footprint of you. Or maybe if I know your face, maybe I can just come online and try Googling your name online. Maybe anyone else who can volunteer that you can use their credentials online to as a demo for this class.
Yeah, you can use my credentials.
Okay.
I just made my
Layered mute.
Teach. Yeah, the first thing that comes in, I can see that Glyrene Chorotich is a network engineer at ICT Authority. So the first thing that I know is that Glyrene works at ICT Authority. And here we have Glyrene's image. Let me just use my normal account for this. You can see that we have Glyrene on LinkedIn. Maybe I can try downloading her photo. Then I come back and upload the photo on Google image search. So for Google image search, this is what I mean by Google image search. So we have this search bar over here. Then we have this icon of a camera over here. So in case I had a Glyrene's image, I can just click on that link. Then I come over here and maybe I have an image downloaded. Don't know what image this is all about, but I can try using it. Yeah, after uploading the image, it comes up with a number of links that I can find this image at. So it's still loading. Yeah, so for this, I can see several images of this kind. So it all depends on your reconnaissance skills. So if you know one of the people that are on these photos, you can try using them to do a recon of all these people, and you can know where these people were at this particular time. So the first image that comes here, you can see some exact matches over here. I can click on it, then it will give me a large variety of photos. So for this, I only have one. So I can come over here and click on the link and try to find some other information about this photo.
I'm not sure if the others are seeing anything, but I don't see any movement on your screen. Sorry.
Yeah, actually, I'm only seeing Glarian Cherotich LinkedIn account, nothing else.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me share my screen.
The web page you've shared is different.
Okay, now can you see the screen? Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, but
LinkedIn.
How did you get there since you, after coming, the last thing we saw is you going to LinkedIn and showing us her page, but we saw nothing else. We don't know how you got there.
So I decided to use another approach so that I don't expose wiring. So I opened a new tab. Okay, so I opened a new tab.
Anything, surely. We are not seeing anything on your screen.
Okay.
Oh, we can see now.
Now can you see my screen now?
Hello. Yeah.
Okay, so
well, you're about to start sharing, not yet. Nothing is sharing. Yes,
maybe it's a network problem. So yeah, for this, I open a new tab on Google. Then there's this camera icon over here. I click on it. Then you come and click on this link, upload a file. So I'll just pick on any image that I have on my PC. Let me pick on that. After I have uploaded the image, it will automatically redirect me to some of the images that are of the same nature. So we have a large variety of images. So in case you know anyone from this image, maybe you can try doing a recon on their social media pages and you can know where these people are at and the specific time that these people took this photo at. So for this, I see that the first link that I had over there is for this organization. So I'll click on the link. It will direct me to their LinkedIn page. So on their LinkedIn page, I think I'll find some other information about this photo. So I'll just wait for my LinkedIn to load. Yeah, so here I have the photo. So this is how maybe an attacker can get information about someone and maybe from a photo. So for this, I can see that it's from a Scratch and Script, and you can see that I have a gist of whatever the event was. You can see that this organization had partnered with this hacker to teach some of the students about cybersecurity, and we have some other information that you can use to do a recon about the specific people. Then a more technical bit of it, since I know that all of you guys are you work at ICTA, maybe I can try and for cybersecurity we have a large variety of tools that we use. So maybe I'll just do a demo with from my machine. Kindly confirm that you can see the screen that I'm sharing right now.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just do this. So I'll try using a certain tool to, because I know that all of you guys are, you work at ICTA. I'll try and use a certain tool to give me a list of the email addresses that are in ICTA. Or maybe I can know that maybe we have someone called Joel Njoroge in ICTA. And I know that in most organizations, we always use maybe joel.njoroge@icta.go.ke or gliding.chepkoech@icta.ke. So maybe I can try and do I can try and harvest your emails from maybe your organizations by using a certain tool called email harvester. Yeah, I use this email harvester. Then for the technical guys, we always know that we have some help menus on our machines. So I can try running the H menu. It will give me a list of commands that I can supply to this tool to give me a list of your emails. But since most of you guys are not technical, so maybe I can just go and show you how this happens. So I'll just apply the domain, which is icta.go.ke. Then this scan will start running, and maybe it will return to me a list of email addresses that I can use from ICTA, maybe to perform maybe a social, yeah, I can use to perform a social engineering attack. So that will take me to the next practical session that I want to show you guys on how these attackers perform social engineering attacks to you guys, and how they can leverage these attacks to you guys. So as that scan is going on, I'll just do another demo on how a social engineering attack happens. As initially stated, a social engineering attack is an attack against the human being, because we know that human being is the weakest link in any organization. So I just want to, from the email addresses that I can get from this scan, I'll try and leverage a social engineering attack to that specific person, so that I can see if they can get the email or the phishing link that I'll send to their email address. So for social engineering attacks, we have a tool called the SE toolkit. So I'll just
Have we lost the presenters?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, now you can.
Okay, so kindly confirm that you can see the screen that I'm sharing. So I want to launch a social engineering attack on someone. Yeah, so I'm trying to harvest some emails from ICTA. Yeah, I'm trying to harvest some emails from maybe the domain icta.go.ke. And as you can see, the scan is still running. It's trying to find some email addresses maybe from the browsers or so. Yeah, so as that is happening, I'll try and show us how a social engineering attack can be leveraged on someone, and how the attackers leverage some of these social engineering attacks. So for this, I'll just do a certain command. Yeah, so social engineering attacks are always done by this tool called the SE toolkit. So from this toolkit, I'm able to select a variety of options, that I can choose depending on whatever I want to do. But for now, I want to leverage a social engineering attack on someone. So I'll just choose on the first option. Then it will bring another list of options again. So I have around 10 options that I can use to perform a social engineering attack. So some of these options, we have spear phishing for, we learned about spear phishing. These are for a specific person that I want to pose an attack at. We have the web attack vectors website. These are for the websites. We have the infectious media generators. These are an option that I can choose to maybe infect a USB device and leave it on the table so that when someone comes, they can just plug it on their machine, then they lose all their data. We have payloads, and the other things are technical. So for right now, we are going to choose the spear phishing because that's what we've learned in class already. So I'll choose the first option. So for this, after choosing spear phishing, as you can see, the spear phishing module allows you to specifically craft email messages and send them to a large or small number of people with attached file format malicious payloads. And if you want to spoof an email address and such stuff. So for this, we say that you can send a file to someone containing a malware or any payload that will be able to help us to attack their machines. So for this, I'll try and create a file from these three options that have been provided for me over here. So I'll create a file. I'll choose the second option for me to create a file. Then after choosing the second option, it gives me again a variety of options again to choose from. I have around 22 options. So I'll choose one of the options that I can use to generate a file that someone can click on. Maybe they can try to open it. Then I can get something called a shell, that is access to the accounts from my end. So I choose the option number 13 to create a PDF. So for this, I'm being given another option. I can either use my own PDF for an attack, or I can use a built-in blank PDF for an attack. So I can just create a blank PDF. Then I send it to that person on their email address and maybe leave an attack on them. So for this, maybe I can just choose the first one. Then for this, you need to know the path to your account. So if you don't know the path to your account, you can just click on the blank space, then it will choose the second option automatically. So after I click on the open space, it will redirect me to another set of options again. It all depends with whatever I want to do when the attacker clicks on the file. It all depends with whatever I want to do with whatever the attacker has done on their machine. So maybe for me, because I'm running on, maybe I want to gain a reverse shell from their machine. Maybe I can choose the first option. By choosing the first option, it will tell me to choose IP addresses. I believe that all of us are familiar with what IP addresses are. So yeah, these are sample of an IP address. But this one relates to the machine that I'm currently using. So since I have my machine's address, just click on enter. Then I can just pick a random port number that I want it to listen on in case the user has clicked on my account. Can we choose 1, 2, 3, 4? Then press enter. So after doing that, it will try and do a couple of activities for me to be able to try and do some other things so that I can leverage the attack on that person. So as that is happening, I can try and see whether the email harvester was able to harvest some emails. Yeah, the email harvester is still running. So I believe that it will still take some time, but it will return information in the end. So in the meantime, our SC toolkit is still running, and we're waiting for it to complete so that we can perform some other configurations to it so that we can send the email to our prospect.
Can I ask a question as we wait?
Yes, please.
Yeah, are these tools only on this distribution, or they can be installed in other distributions?
Yeah, they can as well be installed in the other distributions in case you are running on Linux. Yeah, you can install them on the other distributions. But pardon?
Do they require specific hardware requirement?
No.
Okay.
As long as you're running on any Linux distribution, you can be able to install some of these tools and you can use them to perform some of these tasks.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome. Anyone else having a question as we wait for our toolkit and the harvester to return some information to us?
Okay, I do have a question.
Yes, please.
Maybe I didn't get you at the right. So is this only on the Linux operating system or also can be done on Windows?
I've never tried that on Windows, but I believe maybe you can try to do your research on that, because for now I'm just quite familiar with using it on Linux, because Linux gives us the interface to perform all these things, and we can create listeners. We have some things called listeners and shells on Linux that we don't have. Or maybe on Windows you can try using PowerShell, but I am not sure if it will return towards some of these things, or if you can install some of these tools on Windows.
Okay, I'm interested in being a hacker, so I have to
You're
use
losing
the
your
line.
voice.
I'm saying I'm interested to be a hacker, so I have to have the Linux operating system in my system, in my computer.
Yeah, for you to practice cybersecurity, you need to have a Linux machine installed in your computer. So for this, we have several options available to us. We can use virtualization technology. You can install a virtual machine on your machine. Then it will help you to install maybe a large variety of Linux distributions on your machine, so that you can have two operating systems running on one machine. For my case, I'm running Windows as my host machine. So this is my virtual machine. This is my virtual machine that I'm sharing right now. So this is how a virtual environment looks like. I'm able to install a large number of Linux distributions on this one virtual environment, as it enables us to practice on virtualization. So you can install, maybe we always have VirtualBox, we have VMware. It all depends on your preference. So for me, I chose on VirtualBox and I installed Kali on it. I have several machines. Then I just had to start the machine. After starting the machine, I go to this interface. So yeah, for this interface, I have gotten a number of email addresses from ICTA. The first address is knock@icta.go.ke. We have ISP views, we have EWEST, we have citizens, we have 20, we have John Smith, we have citizen 2522. We have Smart Academy, we have citizen support, we have John Smith, we have govern Jovi, car support at ICTA. So right now I already know that ICTA, the email addresses have the extension of @icta.go.ke. So these ones are the initial phases of hacking. You need to obtain some information about your target, the target person that you're going to attack. So for me, I've already known that ICTA has an email extension of @icta.go.ke. Maybe I want to send this link to Zamira Wesonga. So Zamira, maybe you can confirm, maybe your ICTA email is maybe zamira.wesonga@icta.go.ke. If that is right.
Okay. Okay, you want like we create an email with ICTA, or I'm not getting you right? You are breaking at some point.
Okay, I'm using ICTA as an example. So for you to, maybe you can try combining some of these, or maybe you can try sending an email to one of these email addresses that we have found, a phishing email to one of the email addresses that we have found. I believe by now our ICT toolkit has run. Oh, it's not
So
yet
you want
run. Still.
You want
Yeah,
me to use my personal email?
You can use a personal email or any email address. Maybe you can give us your email address as a test email so that we can send the phishing link to you, but you should not click on it.
Won't you hack me?
So this is an example of how these guys generate some of these things, generate some of these links to maybe to send phishing emails on you.
Okay, let me share on the chat.
Okay. Then as well, these guys can as well clone a website. They can clone a legitimate website that has a login page so that you can key in your details. So they can just show you that as well using the same tool.
Vima, there is a suggestion. You try using your computer microphone because the earphones are not capturing the audio well.
Okay, we can try that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, Mama, you're audible.
Okay.
My end, I can hear you.
All right.
I can hear you.
Okay, so I resort to using my computer as a speaker. So I will say that I'm going to try do a social engineering attack by cloning a website. So I'll still choose on the first option. Then I have a variety of options again. So I'll choose on the second option because I want to create a website that I want to clone a website. Now I need to clone a website, then try doing that. Yeah. So it's a matter of choosing options that are available here. So I just choose on site cloner. Then I can try and find a website that has a login page. Then I can try and clone the site on my end.
We actually can't see what you are sharing on your screen. It's too tiny.
And now, can you see it now?
Hatuoni chochote. Mi naona vidude vidogo vidogo.
For me, that's better.
It's better for me.
You can add that for
Nyinyi ambao muonaje hapa? And then there is an echo when you talk.
Yeah, it's the background.
And maybe we should all mute. There's too much interruption from others.
So I try using a site that has a login page. Yeah, for demo, maybe I can try using a Facebook URL.
And your laptop might go off anytime.
Still has some power. So I can try using this URL over here. https facebook.com.
Maybe Velma, there was a warning that you need to connect your laptop on the charge because it's in safe mode. Your battery is on safe mode.
I've started that. Yeah, I can try cloning that website. It can take a bit, so we'll try waiting for that to happen as we try taking on the other things. So it's still generating the payload. So I don't know why it has taken quite some time right now, but I'm hoping for the best. So yeah, from those demos, so these are some of the ways that maybe attackers can get your information online using several tools that we have on Linux. Linux has a wide variety of tools that we use to perform some of these actions. So yeah, for social engineering and obtaining information online, we have Google. So for Google as well, so that leads me to introduce another way of maybe hacking, maybe obtaining information that an organization has stored online, called Google Docking. So Google Docking involves combining a variety of options to get information online. So they can try doing a Google Doc on ICTA. So for Google Docking, we have several commands that we use. Maybe you can just try setting site.
Francis, Jeremy, please mute.
Please mute. Yes, I'm trying, please. A moment. Oh my God. My. Amen.
Francis Kelemi, please mute.
Yes, I'm trying.
And exit and come back.
Just drop the computer down.
So for Google Docs, we use some. These are called the docs. Yeah, so I have a variety of information that has been returned from my search. So this is a simple example of a Google Doc. So if I want to get information about ICTA, I just use this doc called the site. This will reference to icta.go.ke. Then the file type that I want to generate is the PDF files. Then I have a variety of PDF files that have been returned over here. So from that, maybe I'm interested in finding maybe something that maybe I can't find when just trying to Google from the ICTA website. I can try doing this. I see that it's not found. Maybe that was a kind of a honeypot or something of that sort. But I can try opening this PDF over here. So this is a sample data of whatever I will find once this opens up. Yeah, I have this. I think this one can be found when we open the ICTA website. So this is just but a simple example of maybe a file that I can get while doing the Google docking option or Google hacking, using Google to hack the ICTA website to obtain some information about ICTA. Yeah, so maybe now I can try doing an advanced option to this. Just run a command. So this is using maybe a browser to hack our website by supplying some commands to it. I have icta.go.ke, then in text it references to any text that has such kind of an extension or such kind of a file, or such kind of text that has something like J session ID or in text PHP session ID. Maybe I can just try using that. Then it will run. For this, I have a variety of files that have been returned. So this is how maybe some of these attackers use some of these things to get to some of these data sets. So for this, it returns to me various data sets. We have this one. I think this is our website. We have this one is a PDF. Then we have site. We have a PDF. We have a PDF. We have PDFs. Then we have an Excel sheet. Maybe I can just try and open this Excel sheet. Yeah, for that Excel sheet, it downloads for me an Excel sheet. So I'll just wait for the Excel sheet to be downloaded so that I can try looking at it and see and try to go through the data that I have found from the Excel sheet to see whether I can obtain something that maybe I can try to compromise it, but that's not the main goal. As hackers, we are always advised to do these things ethically, because it's our main aim to ensure that and try to go through the. It's our main aim to ensure that everything on the internet is as secure as possible, and we should ensure that we practice some good security hygienes to, or even advise our users to practice some good security hygienes. So maybe as that is downloading as well, I can just go back to this and see if I have anything. Payload is still generating. It couldn't, this one returned an error. I don't know why it returned an error, but ideally this is how these attackers can leverage these attacks. It's all about using these options from the C toolkit. Then if I want to do a recon on ICTA and I just know the ICTA's, maybe I have the domain name as icta.go.ke and I need to find the IP address to ICTA. There are a variety of tools that I can use as well to find this information. The first thing I can do is just ping icta.go.ke to see if I can get information from ICTA. And by just doing that, I have the IP address of ICTA's DNS. So for this, to obtain some other information about ICTA, I can just use another tool called DNS Recon. Then it will try and give some other information about ICTA if they, okay, so most of the organizations, they always get hacked by DNS hijacking, or these attackers can, maybe if for this, I have already identified a flaw from ICTA. So the first flaw is DNSSEC. DNSSEC is a crucial thing in DNS security, because if this is not enabled, maybe an attacker can try to do DNS spoofing on the ICTA's account, and maybe he or she can to direct the users to legitimate URLs that are not for ICTA, and this can lead to ICTA being the data being compromised. So this is one of the flaws that can be looked into, because if this is not enabled, maybe an attacker can. Yeah, so that is one of the flaws that I have seen from that. My payload is still generating over here. I think we found the email addresses. Then also we have another tool that can give us a lot of information about it as well. This is just the first phase of our hacking. It all involves finding information about your target. So you can use this tool to do a recon on ICTA as well. So this gives it has a UI that I can use to obtain information about an institution.
Bema,
Yes, please.
I think we're having problem with the audio from our end. We cannot be able to understand quite well what you're telling us.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
The background behind you have some echo that is disturbing the fluent of your communication.
So for that, maybe I can just resort to using my earphones, and then I'll try projecting my voice.
And then kindly zoom out your screen.
The screen that you're sharing to us is very tiny.
Hatuoni kabisa. It seems like Chinese.
So for that, since I have ICTA's IP.
We've already zoomed, and Kuloba. We've already zoomed.
Okay. So I was saying, for me to get ICTA's IP address, I'll just run this command. Yeah, so by doing that, I've already seen the IP address associated with ICTA. Then I can just run this tool called Spiderfoot, which will help me to gather some more information about ICTA.
I think the part.
We've lost you. We are not getting you.
I was not talking at the moment.
Madam, you are nowhere to be heard. Completely lost.
Everything has gone silent. What's up, boss?
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Bema, we can't hear anything.
You're not clear.
And now can you hear me?
We are not getting you. We are not getting you.
No, we are not getting you kindly.
Yeah, try.
Loud and clear, we can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, sure.
Or we have been active.
Okay, so
No, I can hear you, Lola.
so I was downloading a certain file that I have. Okay, so I was downloading another file that I got from doing the Google Docking command. So this is the file that I downloaded. It is a dataset that is contained in a Excel format. So it's a whole Excel sheet that has a lot of data. It's still opening up. So I'll wait for it to open up. Then you can try doing a review on the data that I have found online. So it's still opening. Yeah, it is. So can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, perfect.
Yes.
Now clear.
The Excel sheet that I've just downloaded from the website after doing some Google Docking commands. So it contains a whole lot of data sets. This is the GovTech data set, the state of, yeah, that one. Though, yeah, so this is it. You can see some information that I've gotten over here. It ranges from 2018, 2020. So I'm not sure if this is private information, but supposedly it ought to be. So I can see a lot of information over here. I can see the GSS stats over here. I can see the GT stats, GTMI. We have other sort of data that is contained over here as well. And we have the metadata about this whole sheet over here, the whole Excel sheet. So maybe if I am a perpetrator, I can just go through these Excel sheet that I found online and try to find some juicy information that I can use to expose data that I've gotten from ICTA with. So some of these are some of the ways that these attackers can use to leverage attacks to our institutions and maybe to obtain information about us online. Yeah, so it seems that our payload refused to generate, so it's still having a whole lot of steps going on. Yeah, it's still generating. Browser.
Mwanamsikia?
I'm not talking right now.
Sikii bwana. Mbona amepotea?
Hatusikii bwana.
I'm saying I'm not.
Lema, your audio has totally disappeared. I don't know, maybe you can do away with the earphones and try use the microphone in the laptop.
I think she's not talking. I'm thinking she's
wasn't
doing,
talking.
I think she's doing the practical.
There must be something wrong.
I wasn't talking at that moment, so I was trying to configure some things. Yeah, so this is Spiderfoot.
Grandma, can you shout?
So this is
You're not getting.
Okay, this is the tool that I want to obtain some other information about ICTA from. It's called Spiderfoot. So I'll just open the tool on our website by opening this IP address. Then it will relay. It is supposed to go to the Spiderfoot website. Just use a colon instead of a
If you
dot.
put a colon after 127.
Yeah, it's still loading. So once it's loaded, we'll be able to interact with the Spiderfoot website.
No, you'll need to type again at the address bar.
Just a minute. I'm just trying to open the Spiderfoot website. it's still loading.
There's
And
no communication.
it has opened.
Okay.
So it has opened. So I want to do another scan on ICTA. So I'll just press on this new scan. So for the new scan, I'll just name it as demo. Then the target that I want to scan, it was icta.go.ke. Since some of these tools can be traced back to the person who was scanning it, since I don't want, maybe we have these guys that monitor our website, they are called the SOC guys. Since I don't want them to know that I'm scanning this website, we always have two types of scanning types. We have the active, which makes a lot of noise and can be detected by those guys in the SOC, but there's this passive that can't be detected. So I'll just have to choose this option, then I'll run the scan. If I run the scan, it will take some time though for it to relay some information about this website that I'm scanning. So yeah, you can wait for the scan to run, then you see the information that it has relayed back to me. It includes maybe the email addresses and some of these things that have been listed over here. It will automatically detect the type based on the format of your input. So for us, we are trying to get all this information from ICTA. You can find the email addresses and some of this stuff. So the scan is about to begin. It's still taking place. So after the scan has started, we shall see maybe some graph that has been relayed back to us over here. And after it has completed, we can do the analysis of our scan and try to find the information that our tool has obtained online. Yeah. So I believe that as we wait for this to happen, if anyone has a question relating to how they can ensure that they are that they don't have any digital footprints, or that their digital footprints are well secured, you can kindly raise your hands up, then you can try to find solutions to the questions. Thank you. Anyone who has a question?
Yes, I do have one question.
Yes, please.
Now, when you when you send the payload to someone, it gives you access to the root of that machine, and if so, for how long?
It all depends. It doesn't give me a root access to that machine. So after I have gotten the access to that machine, there are several things that I still need to do, such as privilege escalation, to escalate my privileges to maybe a super user, that is the root access. Then I can be able to maybe to change some other things from that machine. And if I were a malicious person, I can do the malicious stuff on that person's computer, or even inject some malwares on their computers and do a whole lot of malicious things on their computers as well.
How can you know that your machine is compromised?
Okay, for you to know that your machine has been compromised, there are several signs. Maybe you can see that there are several files that have some ambiguous file sizes, or maybe your machine can become slower than usual. So for this, you need to try and look around your files. You can have some files that have their names changed, or you can have some files that have some weird names, and some files can be corrupted on your machine. So those are some of the examples that you can know that your laptop has been, or your machine has been compromised, or something of that sort.
Last question. If one has access to your machine via the payload, how can you terminate it from your end, not from the hacker side?
From the hacker side. So, on your end.
No, from your end.
Maybe you can notice that this machine has become slow. So the main thing that you need to do is to avoid some of these things, you should just avoid clicking on these links, and you should avoid downloading and installing applications like from any place. So for you to verify the files that you want to download, yes, please. For you to verify if you are downloading a legitimate file, we have this tool called VirusTotal that will help you to verify whether an application is
called what?
legitimate.
Sorry, called what?
VirusTotal. This one over here. VirusTotal. This is a tool. Okay, it's a website that has this tool that will enable you to verify whether a URL is legitimate, the IP address is legitimate, the domain or the file hash is legitimate. So maybe you can try verifying whether ICTA is a legitimate website. ICTA.go.ke. So it will try and find some other information about ICTA and verify whether ICTA is a malicious website or not. So as you can see, it has a score. It doesn't have anyone in this community that has flagged this ICTA site, so that you can see this. It has a whole green background over here, so it's a secure site. If you have an insecure site, maybe you can have this color over here. It's a red color. You can have it over here around this circle, so that will tell you that that website is a malicious website. Or if you want to verify whether a file is a malicious file that you have downloaded, maybe you can just try choosing a file from my machine. You can try using this file that we have over here. So it will try to compute the hash of this file. Then if you have the hash of this file, you can try to verify whether the two hashes match. If they match, then it wasn't tampered with. But if it doesn't match, then it's a clear indication that this file was tampered with by maybe an attacker or any perpetrator that got hold of this information.
Thank you. But my question is partly answered. If you have already clicked on that payload, how can you recover your machine?
For you to recover your machine,
that is prevent further access to the machine by the hacker.
maybe you can reach out to the security personnel in your department or in your institution. Then they can try to perform some other security measures to maybe to log this person out of the machine before maybe they inject some command and control aspect or the scripts that can help them to maintain access on your machine.
Verma, I have something to say about this.
Yes, please.
This is Dorothy. One of the other things that you can do is always disconnect from the network or from the internet, because once you do that, some hacks will be dropped, or some linkage or link to your machine will be dropped. So if you're connected to the internet or to a network, ensure you unplug, or of course put off your Wi-Fi.
Thank you. But now remember, the port was opened and it's still open, so this person can always come back.
That's
after,
why okay.
Yeah, I think after that, that's when you should do now what Velma said. You now speak to your ICT guy so that they're able to secure your port.
I thought maybe there is a command or a way I can close that port from my end, or I have to contact still the ICT.
Okay, so this one is always a role of the network admins to maybe to ensure that the ports that they are not using, they are closed, so that attackers cannot gain access to maybe the companies cannot gain access to the company's infrastructure using these open ports that are not being used by the organization to perform some useful activities.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I want to ask a question. Supposing you have a machine that you realize is slow, and then wow, sorry, who's that? So then you replace it, and you start on a new one, but you haven't changed anything else other than the machine. Does that stop the hacker from coming into your stuff anymore, or they can still continue? I mean, from where they had, what they had started hacking, does it change? Does it stop them from coming into your new machine now, and that they have to start afresh maybe?
So if the machine is still within the same network, the attacker can still gain access to the machine. So maybe the first thing that you can do, if you notice that an attacker has hacked into your machines, maybe you can try isolating the machines from the network, so that these attacker cannot be able to gain further access to some other machines within the network, or you can change the network so that these attacker cannot gain further access to some of the machines within the network.
Okay, so even if it's off, it can still be, as long as it's in the same network.
Yeah, even if it's off, you've just terminated the processes that are running, but this attacker can still gain access to this machine and some of the resources that are contained in this machine.
Okay, then what about changing maybe the password for the network? Does that help?
The network password?
Yes, the network, the same network, but then you change your now the login password of the network.
So an attacker, the first thing that an attacker will try to do is to log you out of the network first by changing the credentials. So once they have they authenticated you out of the network, you can't do anything further than surrendering to them. So other than seeking help from maybe the people who are prowess in the same field, so that they can help you to mitigate such kind of attacks. But one of the measures to prevent these things from happening, maybe you can just consider doing the bare minimum, that is avoid clicking on these links. Then you should conduct the cybersecurity awareness trainings, like these ones that ICT has organized for you guys. Then you should avoid, before giving out any information, you should verify if the person that is asking for this information is a legitimate person, or is I think yesterday Esther taught you something about identity theft. So you should try to verify the authenticity of the person authenticity of the person who's asking for this information before sharing it out to them. Yeah.
Okay, maybe my last question for now is this virus total. Is it something that you download into your laptop, or what is it?
You don't download it to your laptop. It's just a website. It's hosted online. So you just search for virus total, then it will redirect you to this page.
And then what I want to look at, just take me through the verification.
Okay, so for you to verify whether a URL is legitimate or illegitimate, you can either use this option or this option over here. You can just enter the URL over here. We have ICTA.ke. Then it will start the verification process, and it will try to find out whether ICTA is a malicious website or it's a legitimate website. So if you see that no security vendors flag this URL as malicious, then you know that this is a legitimate website. So if you see that maybe 1 or 20 security vendors flag this URL as malicious, you should keep off from that website, because maybe the attackers can steal information from it. Then for files, if you want to verify if files are legitimate, you can come to file, then choose a file within your PC. Then you can choose any file that you have over here. I used this example that we had downloaded initially. The data set that we got from our Google Docking example. Yeah, so here it is. So we have no security vendors and no sandboxes flag this file as malicious. So This is not a malicious file, so it can't affect my machine. Then we have this hash over here. This is what is called a hash. It is used to verify whether...
Sorry, I can't see the hash.
The one that I have highlighted over here.
Okay.
This one, yeah.
Can I see any? Just move it again.
This one.
Okay, okay, seen it, yeah.
Yeah, that is the hash. So if okay, you can try to use some other tools to calculate the hash as well. So if this hash is the same as the other hash, then you know that this data wasn't tampered with. Yeah, so those are some of the ways to verify whether these URLs or these files that you download online are legitimate or illegitimate, or they contain some malwares. Yeah, so...
Okay. Thanks.
I think on this end, Spiderfoot was running. I don't know if it has gotten something. Yeah, so Spiderfoot was running. And as I told you that if it's, as it is running, it will give us a dashboard of some other thing that it has found out. So for us to view some of these things, the machine has frozen.
Maybe as you wait for that, how do you clean maybe a file that you got as a case? Because if somebody was sending you and it's a very important document and yet it's in branch material. So how do you clean it?
Pardon?
Okay, in this authenticating whether the file is good or not, or maybe the site, now somebody might be sending you a file that you really need, and you find that it falls within that category you are saying, maybe of shaded, maybe red. How do you clean it?
How do you view it?
How do you clean it? Cleaning.
Oh, cleaning it.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, Millicent. Okay, so nowadays Windows has the maybe inbuilt security measures. So in case you are when you're downloading a malicious file, it will tell you that Microsoft Defender has identified a threat related to this file. So you should try as much as possible to avoid opening up this file, because maybe it will give the attacker some privileges to gain access to your machine, or it can even install some malwares on your machine, because some of these malwares are always embedded to some of these files, as I was trying to show you over here when we're trying to do the social engineering attack. So unfortunately my machine has decided to freeze, but when we're trying to do
sorry, the CPU is 100%.
I can see that it's 100%. It has eaten up all the resources. Yeah, so some of these malwares are always hidden, are always embedded within some of these files that we download, so that maybe when you open any file without knowing, it can maybe introduce a malware to your machine. And some of these malwares can even spread to some of the computers within the same network without us knowing. And that's when you realize that maybe some of your files have been encrypted and you don't have the encryption keys. So you need to find those guys who own the malware to give you the decryption keys to decrypt some of this information. So for us to avoid such costs, we just need to be compliant with these simple things that we are always taught, to avoid clicking on such links, to verify whether the people that you are giving information to are the legitimate people, to always check on the links before we click on them, to verify some of these hashes of the files and such kind of stuff. Anyone having a question? Hello.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Pema, I am asking about, I'm concerned about the risky part of this BDF. Is it at risk when you download it or when you are opening it?
the risk comes in when you are opening it, because that's when you interact with the file.
So downloading is not an issue.
When downloading a malicious file, automatically Windows will tell you that this file is a malicious file. So when you go ahead and download this file and opening it, definitely you are downloading the file with an aim of viewing its contents. So once you open this file, then you activate the malware on the other end. So after activating the malware on the other end, the attacker on the other end will get something called a reverse shell. So the reverse shell is maybe, as you in simple terms, it's like opening the machine and or entering the password, then you can see every information on the machine. So that's a typical example of a reverse shell on the other end. So once you download the file and you open it, the attacker will be able to get the shell. It's like gaining access to the resources that are contained in your machine, or the files that are contained in your machine.
Okay, thank you for that. And then the last part, the various total, is it? It's just there. It's just a site within the Google. So you just enter it, and then it's not something to download. It's just a site.
No, it's not something to download. It's a site that you just search online.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think those are my concerns. I'm fine.
Okay, welcome. Yes, so anyone else with a question?
Just asking if when you open or you search some sites and it tells you not secure, you know, it could give you the information, but on the search area, it shows you not secure. Is that a bad site to open?
So some of these sites, they return the not secure option because maybe they don't have the SSL certificates. So a site without an SSL certificate will definitely be marked as a site that is not secure. So once the site has an SSL certificate, it will be marked as a secure site. So if you find a site that doesn't have the SSL certificate, maybe you can just copy the link, go paste it on VirusTotal. You try and figure out if there is any vendor who has flagged the site. Then if there is no vendor who has flagged the site, then you can go ahead visiting the site.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so you can see the first one asking on the Q&A. Recently, we have seen hackers accessing to individuals' WhatsApp account, and later create a duplicate account and harvest the victim's phone book. Can you demonstrate how this was performed? So I dealt with such a case recently here in school. So there was one of the security personnel who was hacked by this means. They had their Facebook account compromised. In turn, they lost access to their WhatsApp account. Then also the attacker was able to gain access to their email account and change the phone number. So we had to, firstly, you need to report to maybe to Meta, that is Facebook and WhatsApp. You need to share a report to them. So in case anything malicious happens with your account, you are not liable to it. Then the next step is to try to perform some recovery techniques. So for this case, we just went to Facebook. We tried to turn on the multi-factor authentication aspect. After turning on the multi-factor authentication, we noticed that the attacker did not change anything. So after turning on multi-factor, we were able to change the password. Then we were able to kicking up out of Facebook. So since Facebook and WhatsApp are kind of linked, so we're also able to kick him out of WhatsApp as well. Then for the email, we were able to, since this attacker did not enable multi-factor, he only changed the phone number and forgot to enable multi-factor authentication, so that when we try to access a code, the code is sent to him. So yeah, we went ahead and enabled multi-factor, and we saw that he had input the phone number as the phone number linked to that account. So we were able to change this phone number, then enabled multi-factor and change the account password, and we were able to recover all the 3 accounts related to this person. So a heads up to this, if you see anything that has a gift-like structure, like Coca-Cola has launched these giveaway. They are giving out, I don't know, 1 million shillings to people who fill their details in this link and some of these stuff. So kindly avoid clicking on such links because these are malicious links. And the main aim of these links is to obtain user information. So once you click on these links, the attacker will be able to obtain maybe your name.
Is it possible you zoom it a bit, please?
I'm just trying to log into my account. So the attacker will take your name, your phone number, your email, and he can try to do the recon on you. Then he can try to find some other information and he can send maybe a phishing link to you so that you can again enter your information and compromise your whole accounts at once. Yeah, so those are some of the things that happen in the cybersecurity space and how some of our accounts are always hacked because we fail to comply with some of these simple issues or some of these stringent measures, simple measures that we are always taught on a day-to-day basis. So if we comply to some of these things, we'll be able to avoid the aspect of us being hacked. If you find a USB device anywhere, don't just pick it and plug it on your machine. Verify its originality. Then, yeah. So those are some of the things that you can comply to avoid being hacked in this space, because the attack surface is increasing like every other day. So we should comply to these stringent measures so that we can be safe online. Yeah, so those are some of the tools that I used to obtain some of the information about ICTA. I believe that you're able to see that I was able to obtain some email addresses from ICTA. I was able to download some files from the Google Docking option. So another thing, if you don't have to master all these things about the Google Docking, we have something called the advanced search. So advanced search is like hacking Google, using Google hacking to obtain information about maybe our target. So it's still loading. So advanced search will help you to obtain some information about the target. So you can maybe input some keywords if you want to find maybe a PDF. Users. You can use, if you know some of these things, you can just key them in over here. You can just do away with the PDF because I have the file type over here. You can use any format, then I can just click on search. No, I forgot to enter the site or domain. If it has anything to do with users, it will return some information, but if it doesn't have, it won't return the information. So you can see that it has some of these things that has the term users. The term users has been highlighted on every site that we have found because that was the keyword that you are looking for. So for an attacker, he or she can go through this information to find out whether he can get some juicy stuff to maybe attack ICTA with. But all in all, we are always trained to be ethical hackers. If we find some of these things, we just give a heads up to the company so that they can implement some measures to prevent the attackers malicious attackers from getting hold of the company's systems. Yeah. So that is all from me. Okay. So Mr. Harun, I was saying, you can just type in advanced search on your browser, then it will take you to this page. Then you can try interacting with this page to obtain some information from any website of your liking. Yeah, so with that, that is all from me. I believe that it has been an impactful session to you guys, and you've been able to see how some of your data can be compromised by these attackers and how they can leverage some of these attacks to you guys, and maybe the phishing attacks and how they are always implemented on, or how they are always imposed by the attackers. Yeah. So thank you, and I'll return the session back to Calvin's, not Calvin's, but Simon. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Vilma. I think today's session has been a bit more technical and hands-on. And in as much as we do appreciate the realities that we have come to learn today, we also need to acknowledge the fact that Vilma has really tried. It's not easy for an expert, especially for a technical session like this, to deliver this concept virtually. Most of the times, people will prefer having this in a physical classroom where the expert is actually taking you one-on-one in these hands-on practical concepts. But despite the nature of the virtual session and us viewing this and learning from a distance on a screen, far away from each other, Vema has tried her very best to ensure that we get this right. I know soon enough, once we get an opportunity for a physical session, it will become even easier. And with that, I would like also to inform, especially those who have the opportunity to attend physical trainings, the CPD trainings, continuous professional development trainings. You can always liaise with Capabuil. You have a plethora of programs that are cutting across artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, IT, name it. All emerging technologies affecting the job and the career space of every professional today. We have those programs active. Feel free to email us if you run an organization, if you are part of a sensitive department, and you feel like you need to liaise with your HR or training manager, that so that your colleagues and staff can attend a 1 week or 2 weeks training in Mombasa, Nairobi, Nakuru, and even outside the country. Please feel free to reach out to Capabuil and get our customized programs on matters cybersecurity, IT, policies, and so many other things, including data protection. So Vema, we really thank you for doing a good job. It's not easy, I can guarantee. For over 5 years, I've been in this field, and having experts deliver content to professionals like you have done, I think we need to acknowledge you. For those who have joined late or having issues, you know, when we use technology like this virtually, there are issues. Not all of us have the same internet strength or Wi-Fi. Some might be getting the speaker clearly. Some might not be getting them clearly because of maybe issue to do with bandwidth and maybe poor Wi-Fi. But all in all, we appreciate what technology has done to us. And for the 3 days we have been going through this session, I know we are not the same anymore. And like I promised, for those who missed the first 2 sessions for Tuesday and yesterday, I've shared with you a link, a YouTube link that you can use at your own free time to listen and catch up with the concepts that we have been going through since Tuesday. All in all, I want to wish you the very best as you continue to, you know, grasp opportunities like this and learn. And in a very, very special way, we don't want to forget ICT Authority for coming up with this noble initiative and partnering with us, Capabuil, to make sure that we serve you on matters cybersecurity awareness. People are also concerned about the slides. Don't worry. Others are also concerned about the registration for these sessions. Don't worry. As long as you have joined this session, know that we have your email address. And with your consent, we promise we will utilize it to share with you any other necessary material, be it the slides, be it issues to do with registrations, be it maybe a certificate to show you participated. We'll have that taken care of through ICT Authority and Capabuil. Watch out for future sessions like this. And a reminder, again, feel free to reach out to Capabuil, especially those who are experts in organizations. And you are, of course, thinking of attending professional development seminars or workshops. Feel free to reach out at Capabuil, and we shall always take care of you in our world-class seminars. Thank you so much. I don't know if there's any concerns. There are quite a few concerns in the chat section, but I believe Vema has been able to address them. I also thank those who have been vocal, asking questions, and adding content to the discussion. Thank you very much. One last call before maybe we wind up. I do understand that out of the 300 of us, we are also experts in other fields. And I was mentioning as we started, I know as experts, you are also in a position to share content just like Vema, Esther, and David have been doing. Feel free to reach out to Capabuil, send your details or your CV and your domain areas of expertise. When we set up such sessions, whether virtually or physical, and we have delegates or participants are paying to attend, we will utilize your skills so that we can have you as our trainer, or we can add you to the pool of trainers and professionals who help other people learn these skills. Be it IT, be it cybersecurity, be it financial reporting, accounting, public finance management, name it. Feel free to share with us your professional details, and we shall consider your domain areas of expertise and map you to programs and have you utilize the skills you have learned and experience to teach other upcoming professionals. We thank you so much, and we hope this spirit will continue. And with that, I want to call this session to an end. And any other information going forward, you shall be emailed, and we shall always respond back in case of any other concern. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy your dinner. And yes, someone is trying to say something. Okay, very good.
You spoke about the test. It will be shared by email. Huh?
Yes. I'm assuming the test will not be marked or anything. It will just for your own good to assess, to gauge how well or how conversant you have been with the concepts that have been shared, as they are critical to your daily operations as a professional in your area in matters cybersecurity and the technologies we are operating on. So I can see others sending emails on the chat section. I think once you are able to log into this session, your email is already in the system. So you don't need to worry, or you don't need to resend the email on the chat section. But that is fine. That is fine. So I want to wish you a good evening, full of rest as you welcome the weekend. And we look forward to more sessions such as this. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vema. Thank you, Esther. And thank you, ICT Authority. And of course, every professional who has sacrificed their evening this week to join us and learn. May God bless you.
Thank you. Nice evening.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a nice week and a nice
Good night, all.
weekend.
Have a nice weekend.
Bye bye.
Thank
Bye.
you, facilitators.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kongoi.
Bye-bye.
Hi.
Erokamano.
Hey guys. Hello. Let me share my.
Thank you.
First, what's the